Hello everyone, 大家好. My name is Hasna and I'm from Morocco. And actually, this is my very first time to sit in front of the camera and share something with you guys. And I'm feeling a little bit awkward, but I think I can do this. So in today's video, I'll be talking about how did I learn Chinese language and how I got my Chinese teaching certificate to speakers of other languages. And also I'll be sharing with you some tips of how I learned Chinese language. But first of all, I'm going to apologize if I'm like making some mistakes in English because it's my third language, it's not my first one. So please be understanding. Thank you. How long would it take to learn and speak Chinese language fluently? Well, it can be 6 months and it can be also a couple of years, maybe 2, 3, 4, or even 5 years to do so. Because it all depends on how much time you spend on learning the language and how you learn it. And as for me, basically, I was learning Chinese language at the same time when I was doing my major in my university, which was mathematics and computer science. And I was learning the Chinese language at Confucius Institute in Morocco. And we had classes 4 hours a week. And there were two types of classes, 2 hours per each session and 2 sessions per week, or 4 hours per one session once a week. And I used to go to those classes whenever I had time to. And after I got my bachelor degree, I applied to come to China to learn Chinese language for 1 year. I had an intensive Chinese program, like 4 hours every day from Monday to Friday for a whole year. And that was back in 2019, 2020. And at that time, yeah, I faced the coronavirus period and I couldn't go back home. That's another story. But I stayed here and I did my master's degree also here in China. So I would say maybe it took me 3 to 4 years to learn Chinese language. Actually learning a language like while doing something else, like my case, I think that's a very good way of like changing a little bit from your routine, because sometimes you don't really know what you really want to study, and when you're doing your major and at the same time you're learning a new language, you meet other people from like other professions, and then you get to network with them, and like that you get to know more about what's actually in society, which I think it's a good thing to do. As for how to learn the language, so basically we all know each language you need to focus on 4 parts: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, right? And for Chinese language, I would say all of them are important. You cannot work on one and leave one alone. So for listening, how to improve our Chinese language listening? I would say listen to Chinese music a lot if you can. And also watch Chinese drama or TV shows. And I think these are very, very, very helpful. Also, when you're like listening to music, there are some Chinese music apps that you can use, and then they have the lyrics of the songs. And when you're listening, you can at the same time, even though you don't know the characters yet, you can just like try to follow up with the pace of the song. And slowly, 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 if you're not from like an Asian country that has characters, so I think that's a good way to get you a little bit familiar with the characters. Because as for me, when I just started learning Chinese language, they used to be like drawings for me. But later on, slowly, slowly, when I used to get to learn more and more characters, I started like to recognize each of them and know what is what and what it means. And listening to music while looking at the lyrics used to help me a lot, as well as when I used to watch Chinese drama. I used to try to find those with English subtitles as well as Chinese subtitles. I know that's hard to follow up with the English subtitles to understand what they are saying, and at the same time to get your eyes used to the characters. that's a little bit hard. But you just need to keep on doing that, keep on doing that, keep on doing that. Trust me, our brain is really impressive. And for reading, that also helps what I just like said for listening. Also, when we are talking about reading, we are talking about a little bit advanced Chinese, not beginners one. Because beginners, basically you have pinyin, which is the English letters with the Chinese tones for like the vowels. So I think that's gonna help a lot, trust me. And we have listening, reading, and then now we have writing. Basically, when we are talking about writing, we are just talking about characters. To master the characters, you have to practice a lot. But you know, like when you're learning the Chinese characters, at the beginning, you can just learn the basic characters. And after you learn the basic characters, some of them gonna start showing up in other characters. And it's gonna be a little bit helpful when your level of Chinese like get better, because you're gonna start recognizing the meanings of some characters just by your own. Of course, it doesn't work for every single character, but for some. For example, the character for woman, 女, it can be seen in so many characters that are related to females. Really, like in 婆婆, 老婆, and so many others. And also we have a lot of other characters that can be used as part of the radical of other characters. And also for speaking, when you're listening to a song and you like it and you start memorizing the lyrics of it, you're memorizing words, and that's a very good way for you to practice your pronunciation. Actually, you're listening, you're practicing your listen, at the same time you're singing with the song, which basically you're practicing your speaking as well, just you alone at home. Also, there's another way of practicing your speaking when you don't have Chinese people with you in where you live in. So you can choose a part of a movie that you like and maybe find it online in YouTube or any other like platform, and find out the script of what was being said in that small video, and then try to memorize it and try to role play that person. That's gonna be really helpful for you. One, to get your feelings in the language and not just like be like a robot just saying what you have in the book, like this. You know what I mean, right? And of course, if you can practice, if you have like a Chinese teacher, you're not learning on your own, so you can choose to practice with your Chinese teacher, you're speaking. Or if you have Chinese friends, or if you can come to China and study in China, well, of course, you're gonna have a Chinese environment where it would be easier for you to practice your language, right? So actually, practice is very important, really. As for how I got my Chinese teaching certificate, well, basically in my master's degree, it was a requirement for me to do that exam and get that certificate to be able to graduate, because my university had really strict requirements, as it was one of the top universities in China. So my master's degree was teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages, and that exam was really hard. It is nothing related to HSK, but I didn't have any single way to review for that exam, but just like to dig deep as much as I can in the Chinese language, in the grammar, in how to teach, in so many stuff. And it was tough, but that's how I got my Chinese teaching certificate. I'm actually interested in making more videos about the Chinese language and life here in China. And please let me know your thoughts and advices in the comment section about the Chinese language. Would you like me to follow the book, like start from the pinyin and then move on to the HSK vocabularies and then all levels grammar? Or you would like me to do more videos about the common words, common phrases, how to go to the hospital, how to go to the bank, words related to that, how to do your nails, how to go shopping, and so on. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below, and kindly don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I'm new here and show me some support and love. Thank you!